Boelter Jones, Pro Football Hall of Famer, top 100.
Tyler Lockett from the Seattle Seahawks.
DK Metcalf from
Nate Burleson. You're watching NorbCam.
NorbCam.
You're watching NorbCam.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is NorbCam coming at you on this Blue Friday with another video. And as you've seen from the title, I'm talking about the Seahawks possibly signing Antonio Brown. Now, for a long this time, I was not in favor of this idea. There was so many reasons why I was, as soon as the idea came up, I pushed away from that, saying Seattle should not even touch this with a 10-foot pole. And of course, lately, with Russell Wilson and Antonio Brown being posted on social media showing Russell throwing to Antonio Brown, the news has been abuzz again with this possibility. And I've been doing a lot of thinking about this and talking to a lot of friends of mine, and I've kind of come to a change of heart why I think there are 5 reasons the Seahawks should sign Antonio Brown, and I'm going to get into those in just a second. But before I do, I would love it if you would please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and then hit that notification bell, and that way you will always be alerted whenever a new video comes out. So here's the video, as you can see here, of Antonio Brown running routes and catching passes from Russell Wilson, our beloved Seahawks quarterback. So let's get right into this thing, shall we? Why do I believe now that the Seahawks should sign Antonio Brown? Let me jump right into it. So first of all, Antonio Brown is freakishly talented. All right, there's no doubt about that. Let's just look real quick at just a few of his key statistics as a wide receiver. For the last almost every season since 2011, he has had over 1,000 yards receiving, except for 1 year. I believe that was in 2012. He had like 700 and something, nearly 800. That is pretty impressive statistics, which is hard to deny the productivity there. Secondly, he hardly misses games. He's been available pretty much almost every game of every season. Maybe missed 1 or 2 here, but for the most part has been pretty reliable, with the exception of last year where things just kind of came off the rails for a number of reasons. But in his last full season with the Steelers in 2018, he had 104 receptions, 1,297 yards, 15 touchdowns. So the guy can play. The guy can catch the ball. The guy can run. The guy can do everything. I don't think there's any question about the value that he brings. It's the other things, of course, people are more concerned about, including myself. But let's continue down the list. So number 2, Russell Wilson wants him. He has been very clear, publicly outspoken, that he wants Antonio Brown here as a Seahawk. He has posted now videos. Antonio Brown has posted videos. There's no doubt that he wants him here. And we know how important it is to have that chemistry between quarterback and receiver. They're already building it now. And I got to trust Russell Wilson to a degree here. Yeah, he's not the offensive coordinator, but the team, the whole offense revolves around Russell Wilson. So Russell Wilson thinks that this guy is going to be able to help their team, and obviously knows the pros and cons to him, but believes enough that he should at least get a jump on it and get some reps with him and start developing chemistry now, this early in the month of July, long before the season is even close to starting. I got to give him some props there and say, Russell might know what he's talking about. Let's go to reason number 3. Antonio Brown wants to be a Seahawk. He has said so as well, that he would love to play with Russell Wilson and in Seattle. As he said himself, quote, "It would be fun." Antonio Brown, now we all know what this comes with, but I think a big part of him being the best Antonio Brown version is being at a place that he wants to be. And he clearly wants to be in Seattle. He's stated it. He's building a rapport with Russell Wilson. Has been alluding to that for a long time. So I think psychologically, he's got that desire to want to be there. I think that's a big part. So many about these wide receivers is so much of that is what's in their head. And if they're happy, they're usually super productive. It's when they become unhappy that things start to fall off the rails. So to me, that's all positive signs at this early stage. That's something that we'll have to evaluate as things go forward, but that is a big part of, so far, the groundwork is good. Let's go to reason number 4. I believe his price is going to be low. I mean, like in anything in life, you want to buy low, sell high, right? And Antonio Brown, in any other situation, had he not had all the funky offseason issues, and of course in a COVID-19 world that we live in right now, this has had a major effect on free agent players. And look at Cam Newton taking a deal with the Patriots, 1-year deal, guaranteed only about $5 million, with incentives, of course, to make up to $7 million. But for a guy of his nature, as an former MVP, that is a steal of a deal for a quarterback. And now I think Antonio Brown is kind of in a similar situation, just given those circumstances alone. Then add to that all of his legal troubles off the field. Clearly, there's not a lot of leverage in Antonio Brown's favor right now. And so I think if they were to make a signing on him, he is not going to be any cheaper than he is right at this moment with a receiver of his caliber. Nick LaBow on the Super Chat wants to know, is there going to be a Kahoot today? We'll let you know. I have to do that one tomorrow, but working on it. So I do believe that this is about as good of a price you'll ever see in the stock market curve. That would be Antonio Brown's signing salary. This is probably as low and as much of a bargain deal that you're going to get, since his options are pretty limited at this point. So finally, to address the elephant in the room, the big one that I've always been concerned about, number 5, his offseason problems. Now, I actually think, now that I've analyzed it, talked to some of my friends and experts about this, his offseason problems, while on the surface look really bad and you want to stay away from it, could actually help the Seahawks. And this is why. Antonio Brown he just got off dealing with he had a charge of charges relating to a moving truck driver incident of assault and battery back in Florida. Well, he pleaded no contest to that, and so now he's got 2 years probation. So that one's out of the way, but the big ones still remain, and that are the allegations of sexual assault and rape. Those are still pending. The investigation has not been concluded, and on top of that, the NFL still has to weigh in on what they are going to do in regards to any punishments that will be handed down to him, and that's independent, of course, from what the actual legal investigation is. Antonio Brown, in fact, after the allegations came out, he actually filed a countersuit claiming that the relationship was consensual. So there's a lot to be determined yet on the case. But that aside, I think where this is the benefit, and this is the real reason why, for me, it turned things around, why I actually saw the positive to this, is that all those things that we've seen him do, off this field issues, weird behavior, taping, videotaping or recording himself streaming in the locker room against team policy, acting like a diva. We all saw him be on pre-season training camp with the Raiders, all the weird behavior he had there. I hate all of that stuff, and I wouldn't want that anywhere near the Seahawks. But the reality is I think in the best case scenario, the NFL suspends him multiple games, and he's probably not available to play anyway till the end of the season. And why is this good? This is good because they could lock him in, and essentially at a discounted price, and the team would just move forward with developing their own chemistry. Wilson will have everything going with his wide receivers. And by the time they get to a point where it's near the end of the season when Antonio Brown would actually be available, I believe the Seahawks will be in a good position, hopefully getting ready for another playoff run. And at that point, if that's when Antonio Brown is finally able to actually play, I believe all of that nonsense, all the stuff that he brings would have already we would have bypassed that and just only have to deal with him at the moment we need him, which would be at the end of the season. Kind of like Percy Harvin in our Super Bowl 48 run, where he was pretty much unavailable due to injury and so forth through most of the season, and he came in at the very end, and it was kind of like an insurance policy to make sure that we won that Super Bowl 48. So I could kind of see almost a parallel where we just don't have to deal with him for most of the season, and we just kind of save him like a secret weapon, a guy who can just, we already have this great team, hopefully, with tight ends and wide receivers and an improved running game, minimal injuries, and a defense that has been improved, especially in the linebacker side. So we have this improved team, and then on top of that, when everything's going great into the postseason, oh, by the way, we're just going to add Antonio Brown into the mix here, and we get the best of both worlds. No drama throughout the season, a lighted up guy at the very end when we just need that extra little cherry on top, a little seasoning salt to just make a delicious steak taste even better. So That's why I think this could actually work out given all the circumstances we have right now. Disagree with me? Let me know. Put your thoughts in the comments. See what you think. This is a long way to go, obviously. So much to unravel in terms of his case, the NFL. But I think if everything kind of played out the way that I think it could, this could be a real benefit for Seattle. I appreciate you guys watching. We'll talk to you next time. Go Hawks.